It's been 5 weeks since that massive Potomac River sewage spill, and there are two big developments today. Daily E. coli testing has started on both the Potomac and Anacostia rivers, and D.C. health leaders say it is now okay for recreational activities to resume on the Potomac.
Meanwhile, D.C. Water's top officials were grilled by D.C. council members today. Rafael Sanchez Cruz was in that hearing. He says a lot of questions remain unanswered tonight.
DC Water has yet to tell us what caused this collapse. Today we heard from environmentalists and DC council members criticizing for what they call a lack of transparency from DC Water. The DC Council has requested follow-up questions. They want a timeline of events. They also want a breakdown of costs. Today, DC Water's CEO doubled down, telling us that the repairs and the cleanup for this entire process won't be paid for by DC residents.
Raise your right hand, please.
D.C. Water officials facing the D.C. Council's Committee on the Environment.
$243 million is a lot, and it did go into the river, and we realize that, and we're sorry for that, and we hold ourselves accountable for that.
D.C. Water CEO David Gaddis telling the council the $10 million remediation plan has already started.
But Mr. Gaddis, I haven't seen a remediation plan. The community stakeholders we all heard from this morning haven't seen a remediation plan.
The plan will be released tonight without public input.
The beauty of this is for us to get started early, so we're happy to have gotten that permit. This weekend we started the removal of trees and some of the plantings and those things that were impacted.
Where are they taking the debris and the impacted soil?
It's being removed by a appropriate contractor and taken. I mean, it's being dealt with. I can get you the answer.
D.C. Council member Charles Allen sounding the alarm on the continued environmental impacts.
How much wastewater has been diverted into the C&O Canal?
I inquired about this a few days ago, and the estimate was more than 1 billion gallons.
There is no sewage going into the Potomac.
Absolutely zero.
That is correct.
Gaddis insisting his team's emergency repair response has been quick, and in a couple of weeks, they'll know the cause of the collapse.
Nobody's ever seen a break like this. And one of the reasons that you had this break that occurred in this fashion was because a rock dam, boulders, came into the pipe itself and stopped the flow.
Today, we also learned more details about the latest study that was conducted on the portion of the pipeline where the collapse happened. That study was done in October of 2024. We learned that it received a 3 out of 5 rating. That's fair, according to DC Water. They're also telling us they do plan to release that study. It could come as soon as this week. At the Wilson Building, Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.